I'm Jamie Fraser with Port Colborne Marine Auxiliary Rescue, also known as POCAMR. And we're here today to examine some of the contents of LifeRaft, the fitted equipment. Here before me, we've taken out the equipment, the LifeRaft from P2. It's interesting to me to note the differences even in the two LifeRafts and the equipment package. Even though, generally speaking, the P2 LifeRaft is slightly smaller, it's going to have the same essential equipment. It'll have the sea anchor, it'll have the floating rigid knife, and it will have the quoit. The equipment bag itself, we notice the floating oars, seasick pills, a combination logbook and instruction package, the logbook being the maintenance record and the instructions being pertinent to the deployment and manning and surviving in a life raft. As required by law, we have a flashlight for signaling purposes. In that same bag, we've got a rubber repair kit, more similar to a bicycle repair kit than to the high-tech cofferdam type plugs and patching equipment that was in the previous life raft. We have a different style of baler. This is a floating baler, collapsible for space and weight. This is an interesting item that is in the P2 kit bag, but is not in the P1, and this is a radar reflector. This, probably the difference is that the canopy on the P2 life raft is not the auto-inflate sort of canopy, and it may not be properly fitted, so this enhances the radar cross-section for searching vessels and aircraft. Another thing which is required in life rafts, which is missing from the P1 kit, are two sponges. The reason you have two, it's important to keep the inside of a life raft, which is going to be constantly subjected to flooding and ingress of water. It's important to keep it dry, to keep people out of the water and keep people dry to the maximum extent possible. So one sponge is designated for mopping up, and the other sponge is used to collect condensation from the inside of a canopy. The purpose of that is to collect potable drinking water. We also have Lake Erie. And then there's a bellows-style inflatable pump. So you can see that essentially the equipment is similar. However, there's a variance, a few things missing. Knowing what equipment is carried in each of these life rafts, you have a good idea, while abandoning, if you have the luxury of time, the essential items that you consider supplementing the equipment.